After Pervy Platner's public faceplant, his former bestie, Bernie Sanders, has no regrets about backing the candidate that was a walking red flag.
Do you regret not acting earlier to call for him to drop out, given the warning signs? Would that have given you a leg up here with Jackson?
No, I don't think so. When we heard the serious allegations made against them, I wanted to get on the phone. I wanted to talk to him. I did. I asked, along with virtually all his supporters, that he should get out of the race, and he did.
But Maine Democrats trying to sweep their swastika-sized problem under the rug, tapping State Senator Troy Jackson to replace Platner on the ballot. And, of course, swapping in the new guy had to start with a land acknowledgement.
The Maine Democratic Party acknowledges that the Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot tribal nations have long been stewards of the places where most of us live and work.
Trust has to be earned, and I will spend every day now through November earning that trust, because today we turn the page.
I would first like to start this segment with a land acknowledgement to the Lenape Indians who were first here on the island of Manhattan. God bless. Dana, continue.
Okay, so Bernie Sanders has had about 60 years of being like I don't know. And then he gets to be a socialist within the Democratic Party, and nobody took him seriously. They sidelined him in 2016. They sidelined him again in 2020. He's like, okay, I'll have my revenge now by coming up with candidates who are terrible. He said that we're endorsing hundreds of candidates. We don't know who is fully vetted. So character is not a factor until it is when he's in trouble. So now the DNC, which has zero money, has got a situation where they might have been able to make a go at Susan Collins. I still think she would have won anyway. But also this new guy has a ton of video with Platner. It's not as if any of that is not going to show up by the Republican National Committee.
But his name's Troy, and he's a logger.
Yes, and he's a wingman, apparently. So we might want to look into some of his activity. Bernie was a guy, when he first came on the scene, where he kind of got that world recognition. You thought, like, this guy was cool. He was different. He thought outside the box. But always in life, when you meet that guy who's cool and outside the box, after you get to know him for a while, suddenly he's not so cool. His box is not a box you want to be in. And then he just sounds like Sour Grapes McGee. You know, he's just angry. Revenge apparently is the best dish served socialist. So he doesn't care who you are. He just wants people on his team. He wants to endorse someone to stick it to the party. Just leave the party. You don't want to be a Democrat. You're an angry little communist who will partner up with a Nazi for revenge. As a Jewish man of faith, you are willing, I'm sorry, as a black man, if I was going to support Jesse and everything was going great and like, Jesse, you're going to be the president, I got your back, and then me and Jesse we're going to go hang and bang and do some benching, and Jesse's wearing a tank top, and when he goes down the bench, he just happens to have a Grand Dragon tattoo right there. Workout's over, and guess what? I'm not endorsing anymore. I'm like, well, I didn't understand you didn't know what it meant.
I just found out it was a Grand Dragon.
That makes you
some
stupid.
reading buddies.
Yeah, that's even worse. You didn't know and you put it on your body. We're just having this conversation. And by the way, he's an excellent bencher, and there was no, just for the record, there was no Klan tattoo, just a clown. But the point.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, I just want to get that out there. But he will dance with anyone to serve himself, and that should scare everybody. Like they need their own party. Jessica, you need to like this is where the real Democrats stand up and start kicking these freeloaders off your couch. They're ruining the value of your home.
Yeah, Slim Shady.
Yes, you were challenged directly, Jessica. Please continue.
I think I stood up in the A block, and
yes, you did.
I'm tired, so I'm going to stay in my seat and just say there is no shame. In fact, it makes you look better if you admit mistakes. This is true in every facet of life. And Jesse, no.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, well, you should
I made a career out of it.
It would
I'll get there.
make legal's time a lot easier if you would get more comfortable with it. Listen, you should say...
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. What?
I don't know. What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it was a joke about the incendiary things that you say on air, and that it gives everyone
No, that's usually media relations deals with that.
Sorry.
Legal's a different department.
Yeah,
You're more familiar with legal, Jessica.
I am barely familiar with legal.
More than I am.
I don't even know their names.
Okay. Well, all right. Anyway, guys.
Don't call them barely legal.
I was just going to say that, Jesse.
This is obviously devolved. Listen, would be good to just say Graham Platner was obviously a mistake. There were signs, and then you're diminishing again the accusations that came out earlier than the rape accusation by saying, like, once it got serious. It was serious before the Lindsay Fifield accusation, which was domestic violence, counts. And Jenny Rassicot was also quoted in the New York Times story saying that his behavior was deeply unsettling, which was the precursor to he did this. As far as the race goes, Troy Jackson is doing his best to be generic Democrat, because that's what we want this race to be. He does have a good history as like a fifth generation logger. He used to be a Republican, which I think is interesting to talk about his transformation. He has a lot of the same policy positions. But Susan Collins is 6 years older than she was when she beat Sarah Gideon. She is physically weaker. She has voted.
Okay.
Well,
no, we only have a minute left.
Are you saying she's past her prime?
Well,
Kennedy, want to jump in here?
That's yeah, I love you, Jessica, but that is rough. That's
what?
patently
I'm saying she's older. Yeah, we are talking constantly.
I'm 6 years older too.
Yeah, so
are you 6 years older?
I am 6 years older. I'm also 6 years wiser. It's like Troy Jackson may be a standard Democrat. Well, for all intents and purposes, so is Susan Collins. I think people are going to look at this. Graham Platner's ghost is looming over this whole process because the DSA is horrible at vetting candidates. And, Bernie Sanders should be distancing himself from that vetting process. But instead, he's like, oh, first of all, it was not a Nazi tattoo. It was a nice, fun skull for the kids on Halloween. And if he lifted up his shirt, he also had candy corn nipples. It is an abomination. And Bernie Sanders and everyone else, they hate the Democrat Party, and they are doing whatever they can to destroy it, one candidate, one primary at a time. Troy Jackson is no better. He is not a revolutionary, transformative Senate candidate. That is, unfortunately, what the Maine Democrats needed. It is not what they have gotten. I liked the guy with long hair, frankly, who was talking about his website and the fact that he was an author and a musician.
Ashley.
Yes, that would have been
Ashton.
That's my Ashley.
Much more appropriate candidate, much more interesting for all of us. The whole thing is a debacle. And if Bernie Sanders is saying he's supporting these candidates, then he is supporting the awful vetting process. And for that, he has to take responsibility, which he never will. Doesn't care. He must pay.
Can I just say my point was
so much older, Bernie Sanders.
About the gerontocracy, that there is this fight about older people not moving aside for a younger generation. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, Jessica. Is that another clarification?
Are you a Mitch McConnell truther?
God, I mean,
I'm gonna start a new thing.
is
Hashtag my bad. It's a new
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.